I really quickly want to talk about Andy Warhol, who is an artist from the 1960s, a founder of the pop movement, and not only unique, but also complex. I don't know what Andy would think of me saying that, but let's see what he did. We're going to start out early in Andy's life, in the 50s, when he was probably about your age as a young man breaking out into the world. These are books about Andy Warhol's early life, and from the covers of them you can see his early drawing style. He had a strong graphic art line drawing, sensitivity, shape, texture, and shape. Texture, shape, line translate very well into graphic design. His earliest work was in the field of advertising and decorative display. His personal style remained. In this drawing you can see the advertising influence, products, consumer culture, the desire to be attractive, all combined in a strong graphic style. He began his career as a graphic artist and illustrator, but at some point he crossed the line and became an artist, which I like to identify as the moment Andy began wearing dark sunglasses. In my opinion, something happened and Andy Warhol retreated inside himself and wrestled with philosophical conflicts, using art as his way to actualize his inspirations. Andy was doing quite well as an artist and illustrator in the advertising world, and he was able to open his own studio, which he called The Factory. The name signals the stripped down nature of Andy's perspective. He was in production mode, and his studio was a factory. Another way of looking at it is that in consumer culture, factories mass produce, and mass production became one of Andy's key philosophical explorations. This is in the early 1960s, when Andy had established himself as an artist to great success. This actually is a gallery, and everything you are looking at was produced in the factory, which was actually Andy Warhol's studio, by Andy Warhol and his assistants. These boxes of Brillo, Del Monte, and Campbell's chicken soup are all art. Each one is meticulously reproduced from its original in complete detail, and then placed in a gallery as a work of art. I like this picture because it shows somebody looking at his art. Perhaps this person likes his art. Here's another photo I like because somebody is walking quickly past his art. It's pretty clear that many people don't like the artwork of Andy Warhol. With Andy Warhol's success, he embarked on larger productions, which we will see, but I want to point out that his key media technique was through the use of a silkscreen process, and at that time the silkscreen process was a symbolic connection to mass production also. Not only did Andy Warhol explore consumerism and mass production, but another aspect that Andy wrestled with was the human desire, perhaps, for fame and the idolization and even consumerism through celebrity, where celebrity is a symbol. Ask yourself what is going on inside of Andy Warhol's head, deep inside Andy Warhol's head. Is he happy? Is he focused? He is locked into something. I like to point out that the Cleveland Museum of Art in University Circle houses Andy Warhol's most successful work, arguably. This piece emphasizes everything that Andy Warhol was wrestling with. Mass production through the use of screen printing, consumer culture, the way mass production feeds the masses, and the desire of the masses to possess the symbol known as celebrity. This is the contemporary gallery at the museum. It's incredibly important, whether you like or dislike Andy Warhol, to objectively study the aesthetics. Andy Warhol had his own art museum in Pittsburgh. He has his own art museum, which can be visited. I recommend that you take a pilgrimage to the Andy Warhol Museum in Pittsburgh. Aesthetically, there's a certain type of beauty in the simplicity of consumerism, where you don't get variety, but instead the same thing repeated to the point of simple gratification. Why go to Z when you just need A and B? Spin-offs result from influences. Andy influenced a lot of people, and they were called Andy Warhol's factory people. They lived a lifestyle that encompassed, that manifested, not celebrity culture, but the desire for celebrity culture, or the desire for the celebrity symbol. These people were quite ordinary and yet visibly pretentious at times. And there's a certain cynicism that I feel when I observe their appetite for the power that the symbol of celebrity possesses. Through his ups and downs, Andy lived a full, productive life and showed us, most specifically, I believe, Americans, where the symbol of consumerism and celebrity are alive. Andy reflected that back to us in a mirror, and today we are able to perhaps see deep inside of us what he saw when he first put on his pair of dark sunglasses. I like this photo because he has clear eyeglasses and a big smile. And I believe that in the end he was happy because he had succeeded in starting a simple dialogue that, while extraordinarily simple, is significant.